next type of faults are overcurrent and earth fault protection of transformers. Overcurrent and earth fault protection of transformers. Okay, so for why we are using the overcurrent and earth fault protection? We are using for the external short circuit faults and overloads. External short circuit faults and overloads. Okay. So for detection of these kind of faults, which kind of relays we will use? We will use inverse definite time IDMT, inverse definite minimum time relays, or definite minimum time relays. Okay. So generally IDMT relays are connected on the source side of the transformer. Source side of the transformer. Okay. So overcurrent and earth fault protection is provided for the faults that are occurring outside the transformer, and for detection of these faults we use IDMT relays on the source side. Okay. Now the overcurrent relays that we are implementing here, they cannot distinguish whether the fault is inside the transformer or outside the transformer. Okay. So what they will do, they will also act as a backup protection for this Buchholz relay and overflux relays. Okay. So overflux relay will only operate if the flux V by F ratio increases certain value. Buchholz relay will operate when there is a slow developing fault inside the transformer. Apart from this, we have a differential protection. Inside the transformer, we are having a differential protection. So all these three relays, they are incorporated to take the internal faults of the transformer. Suppose if the external faults like short circuit or overload fault occurs, then to take care of them, we are using the overcurrent relays. Okay, but relay doesn't know whether the fault is inside the transformer or outside the transformer. Whenever the current exceeds the pickup value, it will trip. It will trip. Okay. So one more important point is that this overcurrent and earth fault protection in transformer is called backup protection. Backup protection. Why it is called backup protection? Already to take care of faults inside the transformer, we have three special relays: overflux relay, Buchholz relay, differential relay. They are there to take care. Okay. Since they are the main faults inside the transformer, for faults outside the transformer, that is on the primary side or towards the load side, we are using this overcurrent and earth fault relays. Okay, that's why they are called backup protection. Backup protection. So backup protection generally installed on the source side of the transformer. Okay, whenever fault occurs on the source side of the transformer, it should also trip the load side of the transformer. Transformer will have two breakers. Transformer will have basically two breakers, both on high voltage side and low voltage side. Okay, just need a space. So suppose this is a transformer. There is one breaker on high voltage sides and there is a breaker on low voltage side, HV side and LV side. So this is a main transformer. Okay, if the fault occurs here, this breaker should trip. This breaker should trip, and also it should give one command to trip this breaker. That is the main point. So see, this is the point. Backup protection is generally installed at source side of transformer, but it should trip both primary and secondary circuit breakers of the transformer. Okay, but it is not the case. Suppose if the overcurrent or earth fault happens on the load side of the transformer, only load side breaker should trip, but the primary breaker should be intact. It should not trip the primary side circuit breaker, like in the case of backup protection at the feed side. Feed side means source side. Okay. So backup protection of transformer has four elements. Four elements mean four components, three overcurrent relays and one earth fault relay. One earth fault relay. Okay. So there is nothing new to worry. There are only few things which you have to remember. The first and foremost point is the overcurrent and earth fault protection that we are providing to transformer is called backup protection. Is called backup protection. First point. Second point is to implement this overcurrent protection, we mainly use IDMT relays. IDMT relays. Second point. The third point is if the fault occurs on the source side, then both source side circuit breaker of transformer and the load side circuit breaker of the transformer both should trip. Both should trip. Understand? That is the third point. If the fault occurs on the load side of transformer, then only load side circuit breaker should trip, but source side circuit breaker should not trip. That is the fourth point. Understand? To implement this earth fault and short circuit protection in transformer, we require four relays. We require four relays. Three overcurrent relays in each phase and one earth fault relay. And one earth fault relay. Understand? The last point is the overcurrent settings generally are between 50% to 200. We already studied this point in overcurrent relays, and earth fault settings will be from 20% to 80%. Always the overcurrent setting is higher, the earth fault current setting is lower, which we already know. So this is the range of that values. This is the range of that values. Understand? So how this scheme will be implemented in a transformer, that I will show by a diagram. Suppose if we are implementing the scheme on the star side of transformer. Suppose if it is a star on each phase, R, Y, B. Okay, this is R phase, Y phase and B phase. So every phase contains one CT and the CT is going to one relay. This is all these three are overload relays. Okay, so CT is connected to this rectangular box is a overload relay. So three phases are connected to three overload relays, and the sum of all these three currents is fed to earth fault relay. Earth fault relay. Understand? So we know that earth fault will only operate on zero sequence currents. So this is current IR, that means secondary side of the primary current, that is IR plus IY plus IB. If all three currents are balanced, that means there is no ground fault, there is no earth fault. So this will be zero. Your 3 IA naught or 3 I naught, zero sequence currents values are zero. So your earth fault relay will not operate. If there is any earth fault, then the phasor sum will give you some non-zero zero sequence currents and your earth fault will trip. So this is how you implement the star side. So for this, what you require three overcurrent relays and plus one earth fault relay. Earth fault relay to implement this overcurrent and short circuit protection in the transformer. Suppose if the windings are delta connected, this scheme will become how you can see here. You can implement the same scheme using for delta connected. For delta side also you can have same connection. Delta side. So this is how you implement the overcurrent and short circuit protection in the transformer, both on star and delta side. Okay. The last type of protection that you implement in transformer is a restricted earth fault protection of transformer. Restricted earth fault protection of transformer. So restricted earth fault relay will not be actuated for external earth fault. That means only it will act only for earth faults. It will act only for earth faults inside transformer. If the earth fault occurs outside the transformer, this will not act. This will not act. Next, during an internal fault, earth fault, the neutral current transformer, the current transformer connected in the neutral only carries unbalanced fault current, only carries the unbalanced fault currents and operate the REF, and operate the restricted earth fault relay. Okay, so first I'll draw the REF scheme, then you will understand how this scheme will work. So again, in a transformer, just I am writing the transformer in the form of a star. This is a neutral impedance, so this is ZN. Now the CTs are connected like this. 3 CTs are connected like this. This combination of CTs. Here is one more neutral CT. This CT is connected. This end is connected to this point. So here the relay is connected. That is restricted earth fault relay. Okay. So this is how we connect the restricted earth fault relay in a transformer on a star connected site. Okay. So when these currents are balanced, when these currents that are flowing are balanced, then the sum of all three currents will become how much? 0. So 0 current will be flowing, and even in the neutral the current flowing is 0. So 0 current will flow. So relay carries, when system is healthy and balanced, your relay current is how much? 0. Relay current is 0. So whenever any fault occurs inside the transformer, definitely some current will flow through the ground and it will flow through the CT. It will flow through the CT, some current will flow. So this will induce some current. This will induce some current, and during that time the restricted earth fault relay will act. Restricted earth fault relay will act. So during internal fault, the neutral CT. So this CT which we have connected in neutral, it is called, the name of the CT is called neutral CT. NCT, neutral CT. So during an internal fault, the neutral current transformer carries unbalanced fault current and operates the REF relay. The scheme of REF, restricted earth fault protection, is very sensitive for internal earth faults. That means for any internal earth faults that happens inside power transformer, this will detect. This will detect. So this protection scheme is comparatively cheaper than differential scheme. But however, for large transformers, they provide both. They provide current differential protection plus restricted earth fault protection. So which will completely eliminate the chances of damage. The current transformer connected in the neutral of power transformer is called a neutral CT. So in restricted earth fault scheme, the common terminals of phase CTs are connected to secondaries of neutral CT in such a manner that secondary unbalanced currents of phase CTs and secondary current of neutral CT will oppose each other. Understand? So under normal condition, what will happen? They will oppose each other. Nothing will happen. But whenever there is a fault, then the restricted earth fault will operate. This is one more important point. The CT connections are made such that the unbalanced currents in phase CTs will oppose the secondary neutral CT current. So that means, what is the point? It will only operate for internal earth faults of transformer. It will only operate for internal earth faults of transformer. It will not operate for unbalanced faults. That is the crux. So gentlemen, with this the transformer protection is over. Okay, some salient points which I have collected. Buchholz relay is used in all transformers above 500 kVA. Even nowadays they are using even for 250 kVA transformers, but mainly any transformer above 500 kVA will have Buchholz relay. For small size distribution transformers, we don't have overcurrent relays. We don't use overcurrent relays. If you go to your distribution transformer in your street, they will not implement any overcurrent, no nonsense business. Only they will use high voltage fuses. Okay, for small size distribution transformers, only high voltage fuses are used as a main protective device. So fuse will provide both overcurrent and short circuit protection. Understand? For all large rated and important distribution transformers, overcurrent protection along with restricted earth fault protection is applied. For important distribution transformers and large size distribution transformers, we use both overcurrent and restricted earth fault protection. Okay, differential current protection scheme is used for transformers above 5 MVA rating. Above 5 MVA rating. So these are some salient points I have discussed. So gentlemen, with this, the transformer protection is over. So now we'll discuss the generator protection. There are many types of faults that occur inside the generator. The first one is interturn faults. Interturn fault. If you see the transformer stator construction, what happens? The number of conductors per slot will be very large. The number of conductors per slot will be very large. So what will happen? So each slot contains number of conductors, one closed path. That means two conductors in a closed path will form one turn. One turn means so this will become one turn. Understand? Two conductors will form one turn inside the stator of the transformer. So as the transformer size increases, the current rating increases, the number of conductors per slot will in stator winding will increase. Okay, so this gives, in these cases, what will happen? If the insulation between one slot to the other slot gets damaged, then or if the insulation of the slot edges gets damaged, then there is a chance of interturn fault. Interturn fault. Okay, so we have to protect against these interturn faults in the stator winding. For this, we mainly use the cross differential schemes. We use cross differential methods. So in this scheme, the winding of each phase is divided into two parallel paths, and each of these paths is fitted with identical current transformer. The secondary of these current transformers are connected in cross. So this is how, suppose this is an R phase winding, the total paths are divided into two paths, and in which the same identical CTs are connected in opposite manner. That means when there is no unbalance between the currents that is flowing, suppose same currents are flowing in both of them, when there is no interturn fault, what will happen? The secondary CT currents induced are same and are in phase, because this is the same phase current. Then since they are connected in opposite fashion, one will subtract the other. The operating coil will carry zero current. When there is any interturn fault, then the currents, the impedance of this will get disturbed. The currents will get deferred. When the currents gets different, then your interturn, then the operating coil will carry some current. In this way it will trip. Understand? So this scheme is also called, this relay is called split phase relay. Split phase relay, that you remember. The second important point is they are called cross differential schemes. Cross differential schemes. or cause differential protection to protect against the interturn faults. Here, what is the idea? The winding of each in the scheme, the winding of each phase is divided into two parallel paths. And we connect identical CTs in a cross manner, in opposite manner, so that the both currents will nullify during healthy conditions. When there is any fault in any of these parallel paths, then the currents will be unbalanced, the secondary currents will be unbalanced, and the operating coil will carry some non-zero current, and it will trip the breaker of the alternator. Okay. Next one is stator earth fault protection. Stator earth fault protection. So here there are two types of earth faults. If the earth fault happens outside the generator, again the scheme that we use is same as that of the star connected transformer. So if the earth fault occurs outside the generator, then the scheme is same that we have discussed. Here we have discussed, right? For star we have discussed that 3 overload relays and 1 earth fault relay. Same connection we will use for the generator also, star connected generator also. When the fault occurs outside the generator, again 3 overcurrent relays and 1 earth fault relay is used. Okay. But if the earth fault happens inside the transformer, inside the generator, we use something called as stator earth fault protection or restricted earth fault protection. Restricted earth fault protection. Okay, this I will discuss in the end how this scheme is implemented, that I will tell you. So the other kinds of fault is if the stator currents are unbalanced. If the stator currents are severely unbalanced, there is no earth fault, but the stator currents are severely unbalanced. We have already discussed this scenario in negative sequence component. So unbalance in loading produces negative sequence currents in the circuit. This negative sequence currents produces a reaction, a magnetic field that is rotating twice of synchronous speed with respect to rotor, and hence induces eddy currents of double the frequency inside of the rotor. These currents, when this current is quite large, it causes overheating of rotor. Understand? So if any unbalance occurred due to fault in stator winding itself, it would be, suppose if there is any unbalance that happens inside the stator winding, it is cleared by differential relay. But if the unbalance happens on the load side, that is after the stator winding, then it will not be detected by differential relay. So in this case, this unbalanced stator loading is sensed and cleared by negative sequence relay. Understand? Here the point is, if the unbalance happens inside the stator winding, then differential current scheme will trip. But if the unbalance happens because of the loading on the generator, then negative sequence relay will trip. Understand? So unbalanced loading of the generator, which relay is used? Negative sequence relay is used. Next, protection against stator overheating. If the stator is getting overheated, so what happens? Overheating happens mainly because of loading the generator more than its capacity, or if the cooling mechanism fails. Definitely in big alternators, there will be oil circulation, air circulation. Okay, so for oil circulation, some pump will be continuously running, lube oil pump, it is called lubricating oil pump. For air circulation, continuously the fans will be running to cool the alternator. Because of some reason, if that oil circulation stops or if that air circulation stops, then what happens? The generator gets overheated. So to protect the generator against overheating at very high, that is for generators above 30 megawatt capacity, inside the stator winding, temperature sensors are built. Temperature sensors are embedded inside the stator winding. So whenever the stator winding temperature exceeds certain temperature, then it will suddenly give the one signal to the tripping master trip relay. It will give signal. But for generators below 30 megawatt, we use some resistance RTD, resistance temperature detectors, RTDs. So they are called thermal relays are used. Thermal relays are used for protection against over temperature. Okay. Here for capacities above 30 megawatt, the temperature sensors are embedded inside the stator winding. For below 30 megawatt, we use thermal relays, which will detect the temperature and cause tripping. Okay. The next type of fault is, suppose if prime mover is lost. We already discussed this in stability. If prime mover is lost, then your synchronous generator acts as synchronous motor. So when it is acting as a synchronous motor, what happens? Instead of supplying power to the bus bar, it will take power from the bus bar. So if prime mover fails to supply mechanical energy to the generator will continue to rotate in motoring mode. This means it takes electrical energy from the system instead of supplying it to the system. So in this case, what relay we use? We use a simple directional relay. We simply use a directional relay. The directional relay which we use here to protect the generator from motoring mode, it is called reverse power relay. We already told this one. Reverse power relay, or the other name is reverse wattmetric relay. Reverse wattmetric relay. Next, for overspeed protection, generally this overspeed relay is not used for steam turbines. For steam turbines, even on the prime mover side, there are some equipment that will protect the overspeed. But however, for hydro turbines means the turbines that are used in hydro plants, the response of the hydro governor is slow. Speed governance system acts fast in steam turbines. It will act slow in hydro turbines. So here the response of the speed governance system is slow. So however, when in such situations in hydro units for overspeed protection, we use a overspeed relay to trip the generator. Next type of fault is rotor earth fault. So for rotor earth fault protection, we use a rotor earth fault relay. There are different schemes to implement this rotor earth fault relay, out of which the best scheme is DC injection method of rotor earth fault protection, where one AC supply is provided here. We provide AC supply through the isolation transformer, and then we convert this AC supply to DC supply. The positive of DC supply is grounded. The negative of this DC supply is connected to the voltage relay. Okay. So whenever any earth fault happens inside the exciter, then this relay will sense that fault. So that means this positive voltage will get to this point whenever a short circuit occurs here inside the field windings or inside the exciter. Then this relay will operate and it will trip. So here you have to remember only 2 points. Which relay is used for rotor earth fault protection? Rotor earth fault relay. Which is the best method of implementing rotor earth fault? This is the DC injection method. Understand? And the last type of fault is loss of excitation. So if in an alternator, if the excitation is lost, if in an alternator or generator, excitation is lost, okay, excitation is lost, this is the bus bar, okay, it will supply real power to the bus bar, but it will draw huge amount of reactive power. It will supply real power to the bus bar, or to the system, but it draws large amount of reactive power from the bus bar. Okay, it will supply some small to medium amount of real power to the bus bar because prime mover is intact. But however, it will draw huge amount of reactive power to establish the magnetic field between the stator and rotor, because now no magnetic field is there. Why? Exciter is lost. So in order to create that magnetic field between stator and rotor, it will draw huge amount of reactive power from the bus bar to create magnetic field between stator and rotor. So this operation of generator is called, so this mode of operation is called, induction generator. It is acting as a induction generator. So this is also, to prevent this, we use a relay called, this is the relay name, offset Moore relay. Just remember its name, offset Moore relay. So what are the major faults in the stator of the alternator? So the major faults in the stator of alternator occur due to failure of insulation of stator windings. The major faults in the stator winding occur due to failure of insulation of the stator windings. Okay. So the main type of stator faults are fault between phase and ground, the fault between phase and ground of the alternator, or fault between the phases. That means this is LG fault, the terminal or the winding of the alternator connecting to ground, or this you can take it as one phase getting short circuited with other phase. Understand? Now the other one is the interturn fault involving turns of the same phase winding. Okay. For protection against the phase to ground fault and phase to phase fault in the stator winding of alternator, we use current differential scheme, differential method of protection, also known as merge price protection scheme. That is current differential scheme we will be employing to address the phase to ground fault in the stator winding and the phase to phase fault in the stator winding. Okay. So because the current differential scheme is highly sensitive and reliable, that's why we implement this scheme. For protection against interturn fault, yesterday we have seen we use split phase relay. Okay. So this is how the current differential scheme works for the generator. Okay. So generator, if you can observe, it is star connected. Generator is star connected and its neutral is grounded with a resistance. Generator is star connected and the neutral point is grounded with the resistance. Understand? So to protect the generating winding, we will connect 6 CTs in this form. We have already studied the differential protection. So we'll connect 6 CTs. Understand? If the same current flows through the both the CTs, or if the same current flows here, suppose this current is I1, this current is I2. If I1 is equals to I2, the CT secondaries also carry same current, and we know that the differential operating coil will carry 0 ampere. So in this case, the relay will not operate. If there is any fault, suppose one of the phase is getting connected to ground. So some leakage current will flow through the ground. Suppose here it is 300 ampere is flowing here. Suppose here the current is say 200 ampere. 100 ampere is flowing in the short circuit. Then in this case, what will happen? Then in this case, the relay will carry some non-zero current and the circuit breaker will trip the fault. Okay, so this is the current differential scheme that we use for the protection of generator stator winding. Okay, the next point is to implement this instantaneous. Just a minute. Which type of relays are used to implement this current differential scheme? Attracted armature type relays are used to implement this current differential scheme because of their high speed operation. Okay, so instantaneous attracted armature type relays are used because the short circuit faults in stator winding are highly dangerous. So these faults should be cleared as quickly as possible. So for this we use instantaneous attracted armature type relays because these relays operate at very greater speed. Okay, next, and also they are free from being affected by the AC transients of the power circuit. Since this type of construction, that is attracted armature construction, is having highest speed, and moreover it is free from the AC transients. So considering the severity of short circuit faults in the generator windings, we implement such a construction to implement this differential current protection. Okay, so we have already seen this merge price circulating scheme or the differential current scheme protects against phase to ground fault and phase to phase faults in the stator winding. Okay, next topic is restricted earth fault protection of alternator. Restricted earth fault protection of alternators. REF means restricted earth fault protection. Restricted earth fault protection. Okay, so if the earth fault occurs in the generator winding, if the earth fault occurs within the generator winding, then the fault current is very small. So then the fault current is very small. So complete winding is not protected against this by the earth fault relay. Complete stator winding is not protected by the earth fault relay. Some percentage of winding is left unprotected by the REF relay. Okay, but anyhow, the combination of REF relay and current differential relay will protect 100% stator winding from any of the earth faults. Okay, so restricted earth fault, there is one more relay that is used in conjunction with the current differential protection. What it will do, it will ensure more reliability, but this relay, restricted earth fault relay, will not protect 100% stator winding. If the earth fault occurs within the stator winding, this scheme cannot protect 100% stator winding. So the most common question which they ask is, find out the percentage of the stator winding that is protected by the restricted earth fault relay. Okay, so we'll try to understand this scheme. Suppose this is a generator stator winding which is star connected, and the neutral is grounded through some resistance. Let us call the neutral grounding resistance as Rn. Neutral grounding resistance as Rn. Okay. Now, the point is, for any earth faults that are occurring after generator, suppose if the earth fault occurs here in this fashion, there is an earth fault here, then this fault current will flow through this in this fashion. The fault current will flow. Okay. Then whatever the relay we have connected in the neutral, it will sense, and if the current exceeds its pickup value, it will trip. Most of the cases it will trip because of this fault. Okay, there is no issue if the fault is occurring outside the alternator. That means after alternator winding, if the earth fault occurs, then this relay will act. The second point which I want to tell you is here, suppose if the earth fault occurs within the stator winding, that means the earth fault has occurred here. Okay, then how the current will flow? The earth fault current will flow like this. Okay, so it will enter. This is how the earth fault current will flow. Now, if the total phase to neutral voltage is V phase, this is the total phase to neutral voltage of the alternator, rated phase to neutral voltage. Let this voltage between the faulted point and the neutral, let us call this as X into V phase. X into V phase, where X is the percentage of, we'll write in words, percentage of stator winding where fault occurred. Understand? So out of 100%, suppose the fault occurred at 20% above neutral, so the voltage will be 20% of the phase voltage. Okay. Now, so we are measuring this. Here the point is 0%. Here the stator winding percent is 0%, and here the stator winding percent is 100%. I hope you are understanding. So at the neutral point, what is the percentage of stator winding? 0. At this point, the percentage of stator winding is 100. So the fault is occurring at the X% of the stator winding. That is the point. Now, since the reactance of the alternator is very small, it is in the range of 0.2 ohm or 0.1 ohm like this. For all practical purpose, we neglect the reactance of. So, since reactance of alternator is very small, if we neglect this reactance of this X into this one, so if we neglect stator reactance between neutral and fault point, that means the reactance between the neutral and fault point, this reactance, this portion reactance, I am neglecting. Actually, how much it should be? X into, if the total reactance of the generator is this one, this will be X percentage of Xg, but for all practical purpose, we are neglecting that one. Okay. Now what will happen? The current that is flowing through the fault, is limited by whom? Is limited by only the neutral grounding resistance. So the fault current that is flowing in the neutral, through the neutral is how much? X times V phase, because the voltage between neutral and this is X into V phase, and what is the resistance? Rn. So the current flowing through the neutral or the fault current is given by X into V phase divided by Rn. Okay. Now if the relay current, the current flowing through this relay. So this is the fault current that is flowing, IF. Then what is the current flowing through the relay? Let us call this one as IR. 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 Okay. Now current flowing through the relay is given by how much? Fault current flowing through the neutral divided by CT ratio of REF relay. CT ratio of REF relay. Understand? So now if you substitute this value in this one, what you are going to get, your current through the relay is given by X into V phase divided by CT ratio of the relay multiplied by Rn. Okay. So this relay current, when the relay will detect and clear the fault, this relay current should be greater than pickup value. So relay operates if the relay current IR is greater than pickup current IP. Relay will not operate. Relay current is less than or equal to pickup current. Okay. So if the fault occurs very close to the neutral, so what we can observe, if fault occurs very close to neutral, then what happens? Then this relay current may not be maybe less than or equal to IP, because the current may not be of sufficient quantity to actuate the REF relay. Okay, so let at some portion, that means let at X percentage of stator winding, your relay current is matching with the pickup current. That means that suppose at the 5% it is not able to pick up, 10% it is not able to pick up, 15%, if the earth fault occurs at the 15% of stator winding, then what is happening? The current flowing through the relay and the pickup value of relay are matching. What is the implication of this one? Any fault above 15%, that means fault occurring at 16%, 20%, 30%, then the fault current is greater than the fault current is greater than the pickup value and relay will operate. At 15%, both are matching. Below 15%, the relay current is less than the pickup current, so relay will not trip. So this X% of the stator winding where your relay current is matching with the pickup value, okay, then what happens? So let at X% of the stator winding IR is equals to IP, then this X% of winding of stator is not protected by REF relay. Understand? Because below this percentage, what is happening? Your IR is less than IP. At this value, it is equal. At equal also, relay will not operate. Overcurrent relay will not operate. We know that. It should be greater. So if we equate this value to this one, then what will happen? At X% we have IP is equals to IR is equals to how much? V phase into X divided by CT ratio into Rn. So if you cross multiply to get the X value, which implies X is given by how much? Pickup current, that is IP pickup current multiplied by Rn multiplied by CT ratio divided by V phase. So if you want percentage, you have to multiply with the 100. So percentage of relay not protected by REF relay is given by, where percentage is given by pickup current of the restricted earth fault relay multiplied by neutral grounding resistance into CT ratio of the CT connected to REF divided by phase to neutral voltage of that alternator. This will give you the percentage of stator winding not protected by the REF relay. Okay. So if you know the percentage of winding not protected, then how to calculate percentage of winding protected? It is 100 minus X. So percentage of winding protected by REF relay is 100 minus X. Okay. Now try to solve this problem. So what he has given, a three-phase alternator is protected by restricted earth fault relay. Neutral is connected with a resistance of 7.5 ohm. CT ratio of the neutral connected is 500/5. REF relay pickup current is 0.5 ampere. Calculate the percentage of stator winding protected by the REF relay. Calculate the percentage of stator winding protected by the REF relay. Understand? So now here percentage of winding not protected by REF relay is given by which one? Is given by the formula pickup current into Rn into CT ratio divided by phase to neutral voltage of the alternator into 100%. Okay. So in this question, the pickup current is how much? 0.5 ampere, that is given. Neutral grounding resistance value is given as 7.5 ohm. CT ratio is 500/5. If you substitute this value, okay, alternator voltage not given, and let us take it as a 11 kV alternator. Take it as a 11 kV alternator. 11 kV 50 hertz alternator, let us take. So now your phase to neutral voltage will become how much? 11,000 is the line to line voltage, so it will become so much voltage, √3. So if you substitute in the formula, your X percentage will become how much? IP is 0.5 multiplied by 7.5. CT ratio is 500 divided by 5 into 6,000. So 5.9% of the winding is not protected. So percentage of winding protected will become percentage of winding protected will become 100% minus 5.9, so much percent. So that is 94.1% of stator winding is protected by the above REF relay. 94.1% of the stator winding is protected by the above REF relay. Understood? The next, overspeed protection of the alternator. Overspeed protection of alternator. Basically, we don't connect any overspeed relay at the electrical section, in the electrical portion. Generally, such devices are connected in the turbine. So, centrifugal operated mechanical devices, centrifugal operated mechanical overspeed devices like flyball governor are connected in the turbines, in the turbine side for both steam turbines and hydro turbines, which directly operate on the throttle valve. Throttle valve means the steam control valve of the turbine. Okay. So when the overspeed can occur when rotor accelerates. Rotor accelerates. Rotor is directly coupled with what? Shaft of the turbine. Turbine shaft and rotor both are coupled. So when rotor accelerates, when rotor will accelerate, when load on generator, that means when the real power load on the generator suddenly decreases, generator suddenly drops. So when the real power load on the generator suddenly drops, what happens? The rotor will accelerate and the shaft will attain very high speeds. So in this case, the control is mainly done on the turbine side by using some centrifugal operated. That means they'll connect some additional device on the rotor shaft. So this centrifugal device will attain more kinetic energy and it will reduce the speed of the shaft. Okay. So if we conclude the complete generator protection, we have to remember, first I'll write for unbalanced loading of generator. Which relay we will use for unbalanced loading? Which relay we will use? We will use negative sequence relay. I'm writing conclusions. Negative sequence relay. Okay. First I'll write faults. Loss of prime mover. Loss of excitation. Then we have loss of cooling system. Rotor earth fault. Okay. Stator earth fault. Interturn fault. So for all this, what we use? For loss of prime mover, we use what? Directional relay. It is also called reverse power relay. Reverse power relay. Loss of excitation, we use offset Moore relay. Offset Moore relay. Loss of cooling system, we use thermal relays, or we use the thermocouples embedded inside the stator winding. Thermal relays are thermocouples which are embedded inside the stator winding. Okay, for 30 megawatt and above machines. Rotor earth fault relay. Stator earth fault, we use differential protection. Interturn faults, we use split phase relay. Split phase relay. For overspeed, centrifugal operated mechanical overspeed device. So these are the different relays that we use for the protection of alternators.